Salute and good morning. Good morning, freedom marchers, freedom lovers, freedom family, freedom fighters. Snapzilla Gorilla is in the building, here to hit y'all upside the head with another morning paper. And in today's morning paper, we're going to be talking about Donald Trump's war on the cartels. Right? We're going to be talking about that. And we're going to be talking about how, man, this sun is Jesus. Woo! All right, damn. We're going to be talking about how the cartels are using a certain type of technology to continue to bring drugs into this country, and how kidnapping Venezuela's leader, Maduro, did not stop drugs from coming into the country like they sold you the dream about, right? The dream they sold you was that going after Venezuela, blowing up tiny boats in the Caribbean, and kidnapping Venezuela's president was going to stop the flow of drugs into the country. They told you that open fentanyl into this country. That's what they told y'all. And when they kidnapped Maduro under the color of law, which is a violation of 18 U.S. Code 241 and 18 U.S. Code 242, was smuggling cocaine, right? But they told you that they were bringing fentanyl into the country. That's what they told you. These tiny little boats that were responsible for killing thousands and thousands of United States of America Corporation employees, because that's what we are. Really, we're commodities of the United States Corporation, and the lie they sold you led to what? What did it lead to? They got what they wanted, right? They removed Maduro from leadership in Venezuela, and they told you they were going to invest. Well, this is what Trump told you. Trump told you that the corporations, the oil corporations, were going to invest billions of dollars in Venezuela for their oil infrastructure. And the oil corporations told him, well, one in particular told him to go fly a fucking kite. And Chevron already had a working relationship with Venezuela. So my question is, what did that accomplish? Did it stop the drugs from coming into the country? No. Did they really change the regime in Venezuela? No. Are they still blowing up tiny boats? Yes. Did we take control of Venezuela's oil? No. What we're doing is we're seizing oil tankers off the coast of Venezuela. We back, right? Give me a Romeo Lima Charlie. Salute to Realize the Building and Fly a Guillotine, and the rest of you in the chat. Thank you for coming through this morning. Yeah, guess what, y'all? And I hope you're having a great day. But I want you to know that the actions that we have committed in this war against the cartels, or the war against the drug cartels, and the war on drugs, which have been in effect for a few decades, what did it yield? What did the drug prohibition yield? What did class 2 and class 1 and all these different classifications for different drugs, what did that yield? What did it yield? Can anybody tell me? What did we gain from the kidnapping of Maduro? Are we seeing gas prices go down dramatically? Are we seeing food prices going down dramatically? What about energy costs? Is that going down? Is the flow of drugs into this country, is that diminishing? No, it's not. And are we even at war with the cartels? Are we at war with the cartels? What happened to that war? Because see, they have been doing a lot of things to distract us from what they told us would be happening, right? They told us that we would release the Epstein files and we'll bring people to justice, right? They told us that they were going to end the war in Ukraine versus Russia, right? On day one, they told you that they were going to end this war between Palestine and Israel day one. What did they do? Did any of that come to a stop? Help me understand this, y'all. What has this administration done to benefit any of the people of this nation? I'll tell you what, though. The extortion that they have been committing against the United States people, they did a little bit there, right? You know, I did my tax return. I did my extortion return, actually, right? I had to, you every year you gotta make sure that they extorted enough from you. You gotta make sure they extorted enough, and if they didn't extort enough, they gotta extort you more. But if they extorted you too much, they give you some money back, And I will say, yeah, I got some of my extortion back. I got more of my extortion back than I did during the Biden administration. That's just a reality, right? So yeah, they can tell you things like that. Look what we did. We cut taxes, and they actually did. They actually did. Now for me anyway, I don't know about people that make less than me. I made over last year. I made over 150,000 or something like that. Just to give you guys an idea. Okay, congratulations, right? Right? But all they're doing is covering some of the costs that I had to pay during the rising cost of everything, right? The inflation, that hidden tax. All that did was offset the inflation a little bit, right? You get a few $1,000s more back because they know that if they continue to drain you to a degree where you're like, okay, what the fuck is going on in this country, right? People start to wake up. They're like, okay, I'm putting all this money into this government and I'm not getting anything back. So they have to do something, right? They have to act as though they're doing something right. So of course, the tax codes are a little different, and some of us might see a little bit more money back. A lot of us might see less extortion come out of our paychecks. That's just a tactic to keep you guys asleep. That doesn't work for me, but I will take my money. You understand what I'm talking about? I'll take my money that is mine. I'll take the refund, right? It's just it's a form of reparations because they're illegally extorting you every time you get paid. But, it is what most people don't understand that, right? They don't understand it. A lot of people will happily pay taxes. And a lot of that extortion money has gone towards this so-called war on the cartels. So it all ties in together, guys. Like, all these things are connected. This is why you guys think I'm all over the place. Oh, what are you talking about now? All these things are connected. Everything our government does goes back to one thing: our consent. Everything the government does and is capable of doing and are allowed to do has to do with the level of consent we give to be governed. Salute to y'all. Salute to Age of Crocodilia. Ascent. Empires are corrupt and expensive. Yes. Ira Scribble Infantryman. Salute to you. You said so. You're not saying that when they run out of tricks, they just go back to doing stuff they've done before. Yeah. Yes. Braunheim says, y'all still think it's about money? Demons walk this earth ruling over you. You still worry about money. Yeah, Braunheim, you're absolutely right. See, I was explaining this earlier during my Ruckin' Live that I did on Sunday. Flying, assuming you're right, that would mean we're now doing what we did in 1996. I explained during my Ruckin' Live, the elites, they don't care about money. Right? They just use money as a tool to control you. They still need the product of your time and labor and energies to do what they want to do around the world, so they don't have to spend their own money. So they don't have to spend their own resources, right? They use our liquid assets to do what they want to do on the behalf of the American people through the government. Does that make sense? Right? Because the people that really run shit, they aren't part of the government. Right? They're not part of the government. They run NGOs, non-governmental organizations. And when they run, they control, they use their influence and power that they have amassed over the centuries, and they influence politicians to act on their behalf. And these politicians, they use our money. They use our liquid to act on the behalf of their controllers. Does that make sense? But the controllers themselves, they don't care about money. They have enough assets. They have enough, their corporations. They have enough profitability, right? They don't even spend money on things, right? They get a lot of free shit, right? And if they do have to spend money, they use the corporation's money, or they use loans and credit, like I said. A lot of these people, they don't really have a lot of liquid. A lot of liquid, like a bunch of money in a savings account like me and you, or a checking account. No. They use their corporation's loans, and they don't take salaries, right? They don't take salaries, so they pay very little in taxes personally. And whatever taxes their corporations pay get greatly reduced, right? Through tax incentives and things like that. Government subsidization, right? So that's what we have to understand. The controllers are the 13 families. Whatever families they are, yes, right? They do have extensive bloodlines. Me lady, I'm broke as shit. What should I finna do? Okay. Anyway, so these cartels. What happened to the war on the cartels? What happened to that? How many Mexican cartels have we taken down since Donald Trump declared war on the cartels? Can anybody tell me? Salute to Latressa Montgomery. Salute to the beautiful Latressa. Can anybody tell me how many Mexican cartels were taken down since Donald Trump declared war on the cartels? None. Exactly. Thank you, Wicked. Because, see, the cartels, they're not, especially the Mexican cartels, those are the individuals responsible for bringing the fentanyl into this country, but they get the fentanyl from China and other nations, right? It's a huge game. It's a huge organizational parlor trick. You understand what I'm saying? But we have to understand that these drugs get into this country vis-a-vis the Mexican cartels and China, the Chinese government in particular. And it also gets into this country through Big Pharma. Big Pharma brings a lot of drugs into this country from China as well. If you guys don't recognize this, oh, salute to you, Unc James. Salute to you. I appreciate you. We get the raw materials for medication from China. That's the big pharma in this nation. The big pharmaceutical companies get their drugs, the raw materials, from China. China also sends drugs through illegal channels into this country as well. But they use the Mexican cartels are the intermediaries for the drug smuggling and the drug trafficking. We also have to understand that these cartels are also the intermediaries for child sex trafficking in and out of this country. That's why you saw such a huge number of children being trafficked during the Biden administration. Do you guys not recognize this? Right? Because what would happen is that sometimes the parents in these countries in South America, they would send their children toward the border with family members that aren't their parents or friends and all that. But the Mexican cartels gets a hold of these children, right? And so does the Border Patrol. And listen, it's a whole game. The Mexican cartels are not only responsible for smuggling the drugs into this country, but they're also responsible for child sex trafficking in and out of this country. Yes, the cartels are the distributors. They are the intermediaries. They're the ones that are doing the dirty work and getting their hands dirty. They're the ones that are cutting the heads off. They're the ones that are torturing people. They're the ones that are killing family members and parents of the children they want to take. And if you resist, they will destroy you. The real Shelton says the Russians too. The Russians too what, brother? The Russians too what? Thomas Cameron says it's easy to find out some of the names that are redacted. Yeah, because they didn't redact it properly. You know, you use the PDF. You use the PDF format and you redact. If you don't permanently flatten the redaction, then yeah, you can remove it. Sex trafficking in America? Well, I do know that the Russians are responsible for a lot of sex trafficking in Europe. I'm not sure about in America, right? I know they traffic children to America. I'm not sure about that because I've done extensive research on sex trafficking, like 10 or so years ago when I wrote my short story, particularly in DC. Oh, okay. Yes, every administration. This is what I was trying to explain yesterday. This is why I don't give a fuck or fuck with any administration. The Trump administration, the Obama administration, the Biden administration, the Bush administration, the Reagan administration. No administration, including the FDR and whatever president you want to name. Yeah, whatever president you want to name. Atrocities have occurred by their administrations, with their knowledge and with their consent and with their orders. So next year or in the next term, if a Democrat becomes president, we'll see. If the tariffs end, we'll see. If the bombing stop, right? Or it continues, we'll see. If they return Maduro back to his country so that he can be the president again, we'll see. We'll see if any of those things happen. They marry your kids openly. Is your Arab masters on the files? I don't have any master. Nah, I don't know what you mean by Arab masters, AP3. I think you just come in here to be not a contrition. You come in here to be a contrarian and antagonistic. I don't have any masters in Arabic. I don't have Arabic masters. You can unbake a cake, you can unflatten it. Well, APX, there is a way to flatten it permanently so that the end user that you send it to is not able to unflatten it. AP3, you got problems. Anyway, which precious president has stopped anything? Which precious president has stopped drug smuggling? Which precious president has not? Just name it. I don't fuck with nobody's president. I don't fuck with nobody's administration. I'm trying to help us get out of that mode out of the statist mentality. I'm trying to get us out of this statist mentality to where we have to have a ruler through this system that they call the United States government. I'm trying to help us get to a place where we understand we don't need them. They need us more than they need them to do what they want to do. Ira Scribble Infantryman says, I have a serious point to make, though, because something doesn't make sense to me. Let me know. We have to get out of this mode where we believe that we need to vote for some guy to come in and fix everything. It doesn't work like that. Salute to my brother Anarchy Television. We just have to get out of it. In my opinion, if we want to progress and we want true freedom, we have to get out of this mode that we believe that we can fix it with a vote. With a vote, with an election, with a president, with a Democrat, with a Republican, with a senator, we have to, it just doesn't work like that. Not in this system. This system has been in place for over 250 years. The system was built for the elites to control the proletariat. It's not built for some freedom fighter to come through, some anarchist, some lone anarchist to come through and use the system that they know is oppressing them and committing tyranny to stop their oppression in the tyranny. It doesn't work like that. It's not built for that. Government itself legitimized organized crime. Exactly how to be free. Government is violation of free will masquerading as a protection of it. Exactly. LaChester Montgomery says only Jimmy Carter. He is the only one real. Well, I don't know about that. I would say the only one that was real was probably JFK. And you saw what happened to him. Yeah, he got his head blown off. Listen, the bottom line is, if you try to use the system, if you try to enter the system, infiltrate the system, and make positive change for the people, as soon as they catch wind of it, as soon as they find out that you on some bullshit, that you ain't following the program, they will take your ass out. That's the only way. So if you want to survive, if you want to, because what happens? They surround, you become the president, right? You might even play the game like you one of them. But then you start trying to look into shit. You start trying to expose shit on the slick tip. They surround you with people that you feel are there to protect you, like the Secret Service, your chief of staff, people that you believe are supposed to be riding for you because they're your cabinet. They get you nice and comfortable, and they pretend as though they with you on it. Oh yeah, or whatever you want. The Secret Service. Oh yeah, we're here to protect you no matter what, sir. That's our job, by golly. Get you comfortable. Then you start talking that shit. You start acting as though you want to make positive change. You going against the program. It happened to Charlie Kirk. It happened to Martin Luther King. It happened to Malcolm X. It happened to JFK. It happened to RFK. Right? It happened to Robert Kennedy. And yes, did Reagan get shot? Was there an attempted assassination? Yeah, but it was some nutbasket that didn't like him. And that's why he didn't succeed. If Reagan was a real one and they attempted to assassinate him, he wouldn't have survived. right? So we want to pick our favorite living president and say, oh, that was a real one. Okay, why isn't he dead? Why isn't he dead? How to Be Free says anarchy, freedom is the natural default state of humanity. Absolutely. Meanwhile, we're so easily distracted that we forget about this war on the cartels, and now they're using drones to smuggle drugs, right? They're using drones to smuggle drugs and fuck with their enemies. The cartels are alive and well. They have no casualties of this war that Donald Trump has initiated. They have the actual cartels have zero casualties. Meanwhile, Maduro, who was minding his own goddamn business in his own country, had over 100 casualties, not including the tiny boats they blew up for this so-called war on drugs. When he pardoned the Honduran president, who was actually a drug cartel, he pardoned him. But Donald Trump is still your daddy, ain't he? Where are the people? Where are the Trump lovers? I thought y'all'd be up in here today. I guess not. There might be a couple of y'all. He ain't your daddy? Donald Trump ain't your daddy no more? Is he your daddy still or what? Y'all don't want to come in here and talk to me about it? It's okay. I got to get out of here anyway. How to Be Free said genuine good comes directly from you. You can't vote goodness into existence. You can't. Exactly. The only person you can rely on to look out for you 100% is you. It is what it is. And Donald Trump ain't looking out for you. He ain't looking out for the fentanyl victims, right? The one, the fentanyl, right? The whole reason he gave you for attacking Venezuela this term. Yeah. It is what it is, y'all. But thank you guys for coming through. Thank you for hitting that like button. I like the ratio. I appreciate it. Anyway, I listen. We have to realize that they're not in this for you. They don't care about you. Even if they want to. If it's known that they care about you too much, and you start to lose sight of the mission, which is to act on the behalf of the corporations and special interest groups, big oil, all those guys, all of them. They will take you out. It is what it is. All right, guys. So thank you guys for coming through. Got more content for y'all coming. And we're going to keep this train going. And I'm going to keep reminding you why we should keep marching forward toward freedom and truth. And with that, I'm out. Peace. Salute to my moderators. Salute to the chat.